Hi, my name is Saral Suragul from the University of Georgia. Welcome to my presentation entitled Parasitism, the Inextricable Connection of the Indispensables. Let me give you a brief information about myself and my background. I hold two degrees. One is a Bachelor of Architecture and the other is a Master of Interior Design. I've been an associate professor in interior design at Lamar Dodd School of Art at the University of Georgia since 2008. My research interest lies in the application of computer software in architectural visualization, focusing on built environments and visual art. In this presentation, I'll be concentrating on the creation of digital artwork, emulating traditional paintings. The inspiration behind the work I'm presenting originated from my observations when in public places. One cannot help seeing the usual sight of people looking at the screen of their cell phones and tablets. We have become dependent on these electronic gadgets. I started the ideation process by questioning people about their everyday life companion gadgets. The answers are often smartphones, smartwatches, and laptop computers. We all use cell phones to communicate, listen to music, and organize our live events. Smartphones have become more crucial as they can monitor our health, synchronize the information with our cell phones, and also serve as our secretaries. And laptops, of course, are essential to everything we do on a daily basis. When looking at the association between people and gadgets, I can't help thinking about the parasitism relationship in which hosts and parasites coexist. Now, let's have a look at the definition of the word parasitism. Parasitism, the relationship between two species of plants or animals in which one benefits at the expense of the other, sometimes without killing the host organism. In this slide, these images show how parasites reside within the host bodies or live together. They're pretty scary. And let's switch gear for a little bit here. Before getting to the meaning behind the word, allow me to discuss my creation process. Here is a diagram displaying my work pipeline from pencil sketching to the productions on the computer. I typically use three software. The first is 3ds Max, software primarily used in the architectural visualization and gaming industry. Second is Mudbox, 3D sculpting software allowing me to add details to the 3D models. And the last one is V-Ray, which I use for texturing and lighting. Though my work is highly digital, I start my work on paper. This slide shows some of the sketches from my sketchbook. The sketches are made possible in advanced 3D software called 3ds Max, as mentioned earlier. The program has 4 different viewports, allowing user to monitor the modeling process from different angles. Most objects modeled in 3ds Max begin with a cube which can be reshaped by pushing and pulling surfaces. Modeling human figures also follow the same process. The software, however, has its shortcomings. Adding realistic details is tedious and time-consuming, which is why the following program can solve this problem. And the software is called Mudbox. The program uses an intuitive approach similar to a clay sculpting method in the real world. Realistic details such as fabric drapes and facial wrinkles can easily be sculpted with different digital tools. I generally import the models from 3ds Max into Mudbox after finishing the basic form. I import the final models back into 3ds Max for the final rendering. I switched the rendering to V-Ray, a 3ds Max plugin this time. Why V-Ray? The reason is V-Ray can generate endless realistic materials and lighting situations. It is a third-party program used in architectural visualization. The post-production of the final images is finished in Adobe Photoshop. So now, let's switch gear back to the connotation or meaning behind the word. The intimation behind the word pivots around three keywords: parasite, indispensability, and political authority. In the early slides, I have discussed the first two keywords, parasite and indispensability. The last keyword, political authority, leads me to think of the image of power, and to me, it is the military leaders. The Parasitism series contained three images that echo classical military leaders' paintings, portraying glowing, imaginative, amorphous creatures intertwined with the military figures. As previously mentioned, the military leaders signify power and the glowing creatures represent the gadgets. I create three layers of connotation in this series. Nominal value. Military art symbolizes leadership, power, and egoism, while the glowing creature characterized three indispensable gadgets, which are smartphones, smartwatches, and laptop computers. The second one is the hidden meaning. The influence of technology can dominate everyone. It could be another tool for those in power to change the narrative and create misinformation. And the last one, implicit meaning. The parasitic linkage between the gadgets and military figures articulate the idea of the secret power behind the power, or the deep states, in which the hidden ties are inseparable. So now, let's have a look at the word. The first picture communicates an idea of cell phones through the pink creature. Cell phones have become another form of organ that we cannot live without. The flower-like imaginative animal intertwines the arm of the figure, denoting the idea of a parasite. The figure is holding an apple in his right hand, suggesting the well-known brand of cell phones. This detailed shot shows the tentacle connected to the figure's mouth and ear, the organ directly related to telephones. I intentionally drop a hint in all pictures. In this case, it is the apple and the USB charger cables. Another feature I created to communicate the message behind each gadget in this series is the old scientific illustration overlay. In this image, I use an ear illustration and sound wave. Once again, I imply the meaning with a bowl of apples. Smartwatches inspired this second image, Parasite 2. Smartwatches are new gadgets that have become more popular over the years. The watches allow users to monitor their heart rate, sleeping pattern, footstep, etc. The scorpion-like creature grabs the arm of the military figure around the wrist area when the tails jab into the heart area. This detailed shot shows the close-up details of the glowing creature, which has a slimy outer skin and a solid internal skeleton. The hint in this picture is the clocks. The overlaid heart illustration indicates the heart rate. Laptop computers inspired the last image. We all need to rely on a laptop one way or the other regularly. Emailing, surfing the web, or creating documents, you name it. Here's the zoom-in shot of the creature. Its spiky back resembles old typewriter keys. The excessive use of a computer sure can strain your eyes, which is the reason behind the eye image. As the message in the last image is the least apparent, I purposely placed a typewriter in the picture as a clue. I print the final images on the artist's canvas mimicking traditional paintings. We are unfortunate to have an oversized plotter in our studio. And that wraps up my presentation for today. Thank you very much for your time. Thank you.